1. The hidden financial system. There is a financial system quietly running in the background of your life, like some secret operating system that only a few people got access to while the rest of us are still using a trial version without knowing it. It is not flashy, it does not make noise, and nobody officially teaches it. But wealthy people understand it deeply and use it every single day like it is second nature. The strange part is, you were never taught it. Not in school, not in college, not even by most people around you. In fact, most people are unknowingly guided away from ever discovering it, and that is why it feels invisible. But the moment you actually see it and understand how it works, something clicks in your brain. And once that click happens, you cannot go back. You start noticing patterns everywhere. You start questioning things. You start realizing that money does not work the way you were told. And suddenly, everything looks different. 2. Workers versus owners. In the last part, we talked about something very simple but very powerful. Workers and owners are playing completely different games when it comes to money. Not similar, not slightly different, completely different. And the crazy part is, both sides do not even realize the rules are different. Let me say something very clearly. The tax system was not designed for workers. It was designed to reward owners. Sounds unfair, maybe, but it is real. And the moment you move from being just a worker to becoming even a small owner, like owning one rental property, you step into a completely different world. Today we are breaking that world down in a way that is simple, practical, and a little bit fun. Most people are trained from childhood to think like workers. Study hard, get a good job, earn a salary, save money, and slowly build a life. There is nothing wrong with that path, but it has limitations. A worker trades time for money, and time is always limited. An owner, on the other hand, focuses on building systems that generate money. Systems do not get tired, systems do not stop, and systems can grow beyond your personal time limits. 3. The power of holding assets. Let's start with a basic idea. Wealthy people do not become wealthy by selling the things that make them money. That is one of the biggest mindset shifts. Most people think profit comes from selling. Rich people know wealth comes from holding. Imagine you have a machine that prints money every day. Not a crazy amount, but a steady flow. Now honestly, would you sell that machine just because someone offered you a higher price than what you paid? Most people would say yes because they see the profit. Wealthy people say no because they see the future. That machine is what an asset is. It could be a business, a stock portfolio, or real estate. And instead of selling it, they use it to create more machines. This is the owner mindset. Once you understand this, everything else starts making sense. 4. The wealth cycle. Now for most normal people, real estate is the easiest entry into this game. Not because it is easy overall, but because compared to starting a big business or owning massive stocks, it is more accessible. Real estate gives you 4 powerful things at once. Cash flow, appreciation, leverage, and tax advantages. Now imagine you buy a house for $400,000. Every month, after expenses, you make around $300. Over time, the value increases to $500,000. Most people sell here, thinking they made $100,000. But then taxes hit. A big part of that profit is gone, and now the asset is also gone. You are back to zero with some cash but no system. An owner thinks differently. They do not sell. They ask, can I use this increased value without selling? They go to the bank and borrow against the property. Since the value increased, the bank allows it. Here is the key point. Borrowed money is not income, so it is not taxed. So instead of selling and paying tax, they borrow and pay no tax. They still own the asset. It still produces income. It still grows in value. Then they take that borrowed money and buy another asset. Now they have 2 machines. Then the cycle repeats. Buy, grow, borrow, buy again. Over time, this becomes a system that feeds itself and keeps expanding. 5. Debt, equity and taxes. Now let's talk about something that sounds scary but is actually powerful when used correctly. Debt. Most people think debt is dangerous, and yes, bad debt exists. Things like credit cards and unnecessary loans can trap you. But there is also productive debt. Debt used to acquire assets that generate income. If a loan helps you buy something that pays for itself and still leaves profit, then it is not a burden, it is a tool. Now let's connect this with equity. Equity is the difference between what your asset is worth and what you owe. As your property grows in value and your loan reduces, your equity increases. This equity is like hidden power. Wealthy people unlock it and turn it into usable capital without selling the asset. And again, this capital is not taxed because it is borrowed. Now let's talk about taxes. Workers earn money, pay tax first, and spend what is left. Owners structure their income to reduce taxes legally using deductions, depreciation, and strategies. Short-term rentals add another advantage. When actively managed, they can be treated like a business. With strategies like bonus depreciation, you can create a paper loss, which reduces your taxable income. That means even if you earn well, you pay less tax and keep more money. That saved money is then reinvested, and the cycle grows faster. 6. Building a wealth system. Now let's bring everything together. You earn money. You invest in an asset. That asset generates income and grows in value. You build equity. You borrow against that equity. You buy more assets. And the cycle repeats. This is not about getting rich quickly. This is about building a system that grows over time. Think of it like planting one tree. That tree produces fruit. Instead of cutting it, you plant more trees using the fruit. Over time, you build an entire forest. Most people focus on saving small amounts, like skipping coffee, but ignore systems that can generate much larger income. The goal is not just to save money. The goal is to build systems that make money. Yes, there is risk. Markets change, things can go wrong. But risk can be managed with knowledge, planning, and discipline. Wealthy people do not avoid risk, they manage it better. In the end, the biggest realization is this. You were never stuck. You were just playing a different game. And now you have the option to switch.